important as far as the teaching and everything. Now, I wish I started the vibe of this video off a little different. I felt like it was a kind of, or a little fake. But, I just really want to catch on and keep going up the ladder from what I mentioned in my previous video about the ladder. So I'm not just going on about the ladder. It's going to actually be continuing from that point on the ladder that we were on and going to a higher perspective, showing y'all some secret places that this symbol is actually found that I have not disclosed yet. And so the fact is, there are places where this symbol is found that are not relative to Maya civilizations or Indian civilizations. And they're actually found in the Middle East, which is actually the areas where civilization is considered to have first started. So that's something very important. So the fact is, I'll go ahead and get right into it. I'll go to my drive, and I had something important to show you all. You remember that I mentioned the Ollantaytambo Sun Temple, or Temple of the Sun. If you pay attention to the Ollantaytambo Sun Temple, as you can see with the ladder and everything that I was speaking of, that's my discovery right there. And I missed out on a very important point to show you all. Right here, you see what my discovery looks like. For one, it did not have a great picture. But as you can see right here, you see how many steps that is? It's 5 steps, if you count that. If that's not significant enough to say that that's my discovery right there in stone, ancient, depicted, I'll go on to try to prove some more. So at the end of the day, how many steps is there? 5. If you need a clearer picture, I showed that in the past. Mind you, when you look at the geometry, why is it that there is a elongation here at this area and an elongation here at this area, just like you see on my work too? So that's 2 things that I'm pointing out that you see. Just like on my work, you see the elongation here and you see the elongation there, and you see a 5-step count. Now, what you also see that I was just getting ready to show you all is look at this bottom part right here. You see this right here where this area is right here? Seriously, look at this really good. Now look at the bottom of this and look at how it looks like they could start and were starting. In fact, the next part to mirror that. It looks like it's cut just like my work. Turn it to a 45-degree angle and you can see how it literally goes. It makes like a house shape. And that's literally what my stuff does over here. Turn it to a 45-degree angle and you got a house shape. I mean, come on now. That's just, I wanted to show that I try to bridge and connect every previous video with my next video because I'm showing a journey. I'm showing the actual discovery route of me discovering things, because with me being behind closed doors, it makes it less like I can show people that I actually did this. I'm showing you in real time that I made the discoveries that I made. So I discovered that this right here is this right here. Okay, so that's that. This right here is the next part that I wanted to go into. This is actually found in Islam. As you can see, the name of the temple is up there and down there. And when you zoom in on this temple, you see some intricate artwork. Now, if that's not strikingly similar to the Chicana, I don't know what to tell one. That is the Chicana that they speak of geometrically. It's just not the same count. But that's where I'm explaining to you all. The count matters. It doesn't mean that this isn't something worth investigating. This means that when you look at this, this is a symbol. Like I told you, this is Islam. This is not India, where it was discovered, where the temples were built off of this. You won't find the temples here in Islam built off of this at the ground level foundation. But you will find temples in Cambodia and India built off of the foundation of the concept. You go to Mayan civilizations and you won't really find it like that there either, as far as their foundations of the building having the geometry exactly of my discovery. Now, like I told y'all, all of the differentiation between these cultures, from the skin that they have to their way of talking and writing down their languages and everything, those are all different, right? Their numerical symbols for numbers are all different, right? But the one common thing that you're seeing all over the earth, just like a 5-point star as a symbol, you're seeing this with every culture. And that's something that matters a lot. That means it's all over the earth. And that's me not stretching it at all. I showed you that it's in Mexico. I showed you that it's in South America. I showed you it's in Indonesia. I showed you that it's in Cambodia. I'm covering the Middle East. There isn't much earth that I can cover. Understand that there's literally only about 3 more continents that I really, 3 or 4 actually, that I really haven't. I mean, you got islands like, Japan and things like that, but I'm talking about big places. China, of course, is very meaningful. Africa is more meaningful as well. You have Australia, which is unmentioned. I mean, they might have something down there. Who knows? You never know. They might have something Chicana-like. But here's Iran. And what do you see there? Again, just to double factor authenticate. It's not just a one-time find. It's something that they actually replicate and keep on doing as part of their culture. So you have how many other shapes out here? And why would they be using this? Which is not a regular shape. It's not a regular polygon. That matters a lot too. That means it's something that man has to create. It's not even in any type of way found visually in nature. You won't find anything in nature that looks like that until you go to the microscopic kingdom. So those are those pictures right there that I had to show you. That's another one. As you can see, you see that the quadrant thing going on there? Very similar to my work right there. But not exact, of course. Mine is tilted at 45-degree angles. It's not supposed to be exact. Our languages that we're speaking, I mean, what I'm letting you know is that there's a mathematical notation going on here. That's why they're not supposed to be exactly the same everywhere, because the letter E is not the letter F. You have 3 bars for letter E, 2 bars for letter F, so that you can communicate efficiently. You could differentiate one from the next. And so that doesn't mean that this is meaningless. That means that there's a different form or something else being communicated. It's not like it is it's not just a pattern is what I'm showing you. That's not what's going on. So you then have, that temple. Windows. See this Indian temple's windows that I showed y'all in the past? There you are with the same thing going on. Now, what's visually that I'm actually discovering here and seeing is there's a differentiation in the measurements of one Chicana to the next over here. You see how this square on this Chicana is smaller? The metrics are different. This just goes to further authenticate what it is that I'm saying. One of them has double termination, it looks like. The other one is skinnier, clearly. Like, look at the ending points and then look at the other one. It's like it's wider. But anyway. And then you have Tiwanaku. This is one place I did just mention that the layout or the foundational aspect of how these buildings were built it was only done like that foundation-wise that I've researched and seen in India. I haven't seen any temples besides this one at Tiwanaku to mention that has and reflects the geometry ground-wise, meaning that the outline of the building, literally, the floor plan is made based on this right here, the Chicana. That's not the Chicana for them, but made based on the symbol that looks the Chicana-ish symbol like this, right? I don't really even know how to put it. The thing is, in India, they don't have a Chicana. They don't have a name for this symbol that I just showed you on the screen. That's what happens when you research that. That means a lot to me too, because if it was discovered there, why don't they have an original name for it? That's the origin. Why wouldn't they have a name for it? The Mayans actually have a name for it. So, thing is, this is what I realized. The pyramid in Tiwanaku looks like this right here, as you can see. Strikingly similar to that of the Chicana. Understandable? Like I just showed with India right there, is that not like the same symbol? But Tiwanaku is not in India. This is down in Peru. So this is on the other side of the earth, completely. So I just went from India. How many other symbols can you do that with throughout ancient history? How many other symbols throughout cultures can you show that they shared that symbol? When we're talking about ancient cultures that, what other symbol do they share? If they didn't know each other, especially, we're getting that too, right? So I just went from Iran to India, and here I am now on another part of the earth in Peru. Pretty crazy, huh? Look at that. This is what that's what it looked like. Is that not what the Chicana? Of course. That's La Chicana. All day. So, is the Chicana found in India? Is the Chicana, as you can see. I love to re-show things because it helps y'all know the Chicana symbol is not a symbol primarily associated with India. It is a sacred Andean symbol, most notably associated with the Inca Empire. Andean and Indian sound just alike. Always remember that. That's very important when y'all are talking about etymology, because etymology is how people trace a lot of roots and stuff. That's why I keep on repeating it. It does matter, because what if one of the names came from the other one? What did Indians call themselves? Did they call India India? Or is it a European thing? I mean, right? Good question and good thinking, right? So, Andean, Indian, and we see that they share something, of course, alike. I mean, a lot of people have been questioning, did they communicate with each other based on their guides? When you look at Ancient Aliens, they already have that out here. When you look at Universe Inside U's channel, they're already questioning the same exact thing. Literally. And I really need to show y'all a video from them. A part of a video from them. See if I have any comments. I figured I didn't. Cool. Universe Inside Me, I think it is. Yeah. See, they're showing the Chicana right here. But there was something else in one of these videos, if this is it, that was just like what I'm showing. It makes the same point. And I did want to let y'all know too, when it comes to these videos, for whatever reason, mine, I don't know if it's just my YouTube and some setting that's set up that I need to change, but my videos automatically go to private as soon as I hit end on the video. I don't know if they do that for everybody or not, but that's just to let y'all know. They end it and turn it to private as soon as I end the video. I think this is it actually. There's the Chicana right there. It's not in this one.
Pyramid. This is that was not yet available to the Incas. One of the stones has a remarkably precise pattern that resembles a step pyramid. This is actually a Chicana cross, an ancient Andean symbol that can be seen on various megalithic sites all across South America.
Now, one thing to consider is why, if that is the Chicana cross, why did they not put the other side there? Why did they not put two halves? Because they obviously had the ability to go upward and create the same half, but vertically, the same image. Why did they not put it on the other side? Very important question.
The oldest Chicana representation was found in Bolivia at the archaeological site of Tiwanaku.
Now, see what I just showed y'all? I'm telling you, everything that I be showing y'all is very important. The oldest Chicana representation over here in the Americas, at least, is in Tiwanaku, and that's where I just left. So there you are. It's found there. That stone is found there at Tiwanaku.
At the archaeological site of Tiwanaku.
Now,
and if you look closer at the...
What's amazing is they have so many pyramids in South America and in Mexico, and they even note that it looks like a step pyramid, correct? It does. But the fact is, why don't you find a step pyramid that looks exactly like that there in Mexico? You won't find one. Mind you that the way that I'm designing this pyramid to be built, nobody has ever designed a pyramid to be built like this. That's why it's special too. Because every one of the other pyramids that are built, they all have smooth edges. And what do I mean by that? You see the jagged edge that's right there? The way that it has, like I'm saying, from a sky view, when you look at the pyramid that I'm building, that's what you see. You have the jagged edge going on. You don't have smooth sides. You have angle, 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 angle. Because the same way that you see this in the front, that's how the front or the front of the pyramid would be. If you looked at the pyramid dead on. Let me go to my drive actually. So when you look at this dead on, that's what I was showing you up here. This whole thing is a pyramid at the front, and it reflects with water. That's what you see going on up here for the real pyramid that I'm building. That's the real thing. And so the same thing that would be up top, you would see it reflect downward. And that's what you see right here. But when you look at this, it's made also to where just like a ball or a sphere, when you look at it from every intermediate direction and just compass directions, it looks the same. Every corner, it looks the same. Top, bottom, left, and right. Top, bottom, and sides. I'll put it like that to simplify. Same thing goes on with this. You look at the top of this, you're going to see the same thing at the bottom. You look at the side of it, from any side, you're going to see the same thing as the top and the bottom. And so when you look at the top or the front of the pyramid, as you can see, you can walk towards it. When you get in the sky and look at it from a top view, you will see exactly just that. You can't do that with any other pyramid. Sure can't. None of them have been built on, like if you were in the sky, with the outside edges to look like that. You won't find that in Mexico. The closest thing you will find to it is actually in India. But even then, they didn't build a pyramid. They built things like Angkor Wat, which were not exactly just building a pyramid. As you see this discovery, you obviously had the discovery speaking on them to specify what I'm saying and clarify. They obviously had the discovery outline and even the interior. That's what Angkor Wat is showing. But for whatever reason, they did not build it literally. Now, why that is, I don't know. But they did not build it, the pyramid, literally. Because that's the thing you have to understand. There is a way of three-dimensionally depicting everything that you see here. And there's only one right way of three-dimensionally depicting what you see right here. Understand that. You can't make this three-dimensionally another way function. Those steps, the way that they're counted and the row or height that they are, have to be that height. They have to be the cubes that they are. The distance that 0 is or 4 and 5 is from the ground, it has to be that high. How close 0 and 9 protrude towards you, they have to be that close. So everything metric-wise, three-dimensional-wise, they couldn't do it any other way. So why didn't they do it that way? After they understood, they were smart. They obviously knew how to make things three-dimensional, statues and all. So why couldn't they make that three-dimensional? Maybe they could, which I'm pretty sure they could. I'm darn sure they could. But why did they not? Very important question. Because it's almost as if, when you're living in my shoes, as if they tried to reserve this parking spot for a special occurrence. I mean, how many other chances did people have? We showing that it's known. How many other chances did people have to build that? So that's what I wanted to show y'all today, as far as the worldwide essence of what this deals with. It is found down here in Peru, Mexico. It might be found in Africa. That's one of the biggest continents out here, but you know, I ain't seen it in Africa yet. Besides one time, but I can't find where it was at, and it was newly depicted. It was a symbol that looked like just like the Chicana, but it was new. The building even, it was new. It wasn't an ancient cross. So you find it in India, you find it in the Middle East, you find it over there all the way in Cambodia. The only places are left over are Russia, China, Australia, and the United States of America. But what you have to understand is it's not the case for the United States of America no more. That ain't the case. That's why you have this on the screen. It's here. And it's here in a way that y'all have to understand. It's like no other. Can't nobody do it like it's going to be done here. And I'm not putting anything down, because without them doing what they did, I wouldn't have anything, period. It's them to thank. They got there before me. And if anything, I'm showing that they possibly reserved this for me, because you got a message that's out there with my birth date as well in the ground. Mind you, that if you put this discovery over, it literally helps you with everything here. It helps you with everything as far as knowing what those circles are right there, what they landing on. What are they pointing to? Because when you do that, that's where you end up landing on desert regions, which is where you have to harvest these stones at. The Sahara Desert, things like that. When people wonder where you're going to get the quarried stones from to build something like this. So, it's pretty amazing what this has turned into, man. Real talk, dude. This is the city of Little Rock, Arkansas's logo. They got a mountain there, built out of rock, with a star on top. They might as well go ahead and put that right there. If you got up in the sky and you look down, that's what it looks like, a little rock. A pyramid looks like a little rock from a guy view. Moldhara Sun Temple, I mean, that's India. I just showed, man, it's just crazy actually seeing this symbol all over the earth. Not to be redundant, you have to show people, because people who have not been here and don't know, I have to show new people the same stuff every time. She popped up out of nowhere. But yeah, see, stuff like this is not to be evil. I was saying stuff like this, I want to make for sure that you can see that, because it ain't why I'm going through what I'm going through. Understand that. But that's some real stuff. And this is the Vitruvian Man. In relation to my work, you would have to understand that that does mean something. Very much so. Beyond that, 19 other stars that are out there that have to be disclosed. And that's where I was showing you all, this is where my work is the answer. You put my work in the center, and that's where it gives you answers to these stars. There is nothing else that you could put them on. That's something to consider too. Dang, that's all that's in here free? Golly. So what you see up here as far as the blueprint of the pyramid, also look at how there are rivers that come out of the flat earth cosmology. It's so dope. Flat earth map. You see how you get, I told y'all that the 0 and 9 are blue, or water, to represent water. You see how you got the rivers that come out and disperse, how they come out. Look at how 0 and 9 come out like this right here. You see that? How it splits. It looks just like the Mercator map, but pixelated. Crazy, huh? I never said that I'm a flat earther these days. I was back in the day, and I understand and comprehend it very good. But I also never said that what's at the top couldn't be something considerable there in underwater. I'm not saying that that is or ain't. I've never been there, therefore I cannot conclude, is what I'll leave it as. See how those rivers split there? Right. Well, it's kind of amazing how this is being built just like this as far as my blueprint. The pyramid is being put right in the center. Water is being put right around the pyramid. And then there are 4 walkways instead of water passages. But the water literally is dispersed from, as far as drinking fountains, on the walkways. Yeah, that's dope, huh? So that's crazy how that's even coming out like that. That's merely the exact same thing. Same thing. Nazca Sun Star. It's just wild. Looking at this, and it's all looked over like it means nothing, you know? It's just crazy. It's just amazing, man. That's just amazing. But I'm going to end this one here. Thank anybody who came through, bro.